Hi, my name is Sarah Holmes, and this is my oral presentation on the topics of tourism and disaster. Tourism is an important part of economics and many aspects of society. Even for Florida, for example, tourist towns like Tampa, Clearwater, Miami, and Orlando receive billions of dollars a year. In many countries, the economy heavily relies on this. So, what happens when there is a disaster? FEMA defines a disaster as a non-routine event that exceeds the capacity of the affected area to respond in such a way that saves lives, preserves property, maintains social, ecological, economic, and political stability in that specified region. This is more than just earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, or landslides. It is also terrorist attacks, recessions, pandemics, and more. Tourism halted once COVID-19 spread, or for another example, tourism in New York City, which is one of the tourism hubs in the United States, the tourism there stopped after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. A specific example is the tsunami of 2004 that affected the southeast of Asia. This tsunami was caused by an earthquake that killed over 250,000 people. It took almost 5 years for tourism to fully rehabilitate itself in Southeast Asia. There is a movie titled The Impossible that features a real life family from the United States who was visiting Thailand at the time of this disaster. That's the top excuse me, the tsunami was caused by an earthquake that reached a 9.1 magnitude in the Indian Ocean and created a massive tsunami that raged towards Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. The storm brought over 150-foot waves and 500 miles and winds of 500 miles per hour. Disaster management follows a cycle of preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation. These steps can be taken even further with disaster in relation to tourism. Shared responsibility matrix. Because disasters affect more than just tourism, it is essential for many key actors that are involved in the planning and management process. This can include committees and councils that are intersectorial, preparation for crisis and disaster situations, plans and response exercises, training teams, and established mechanisms, as well as alerts, should all be practiced. Risk identification is fairly straightforward, knowing, mapping, and understanding potential threats and the probability of their occurrence. Risk mitigation. Based on the risk identification, measures should be established to minimize the potential damages. Formulation of rapid responses. Create a stable process that cannot be destroyed or impaired by the potential disaster. Establishing minimums for recovery and resumption. Essentially, what comes first needs to come first and what needs to be recovered for the community to function. All of these together can be used to support the tourist sector in a time of disaster. Here are my citations.